There are three types of mysteries. In the first, a detective is presented with a set of clues, and they pursue those clues until they reach the answer. This is obviously most mysteries. There's a second type of mystery which believes that mysteries are inherently unsolvable. There's just too many conspiracies in the world. Everything is too packed together. This is much rarer. Examples might be like Inherent Vice or the Korean film Burning. And then there's a third type of mystery. In this type of mystery, the mystery can be solved, but humans simply can't solve them. Because we're too weak, we get distracted too easily, we have our own petty grievances, and if we ever do reach the solution, we might not even recognize it amid all the noise of living in the world. We pursue these mysteries not because we expect to solve them, but because we need structure for our lives. It was thinking about these three different types of mysteries, this sort of like system I came up with, that I decided I wanted to write a book called Chatterhat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the trailer I made for Chatterhat, and then I'm going to do a reading from one of the chapters.
His name is Bob, and he delivers the milk. He doesn't need the money, it's just something to do. One night, Bob hears a story about a mass shooting and a girl too good to be true. A story he can't let go. Next thing you know, Bob's doing a deep dive into the suburban weird. Along the way, he might encounter a cat-munching goat monster, a possibly mythical criminal mastermind, a half-faced man who's a whole lot of trouble, some curious neighbors, a masked typist, and the clues to a mystery Bob may lack the imagination to define, the courage to pursue, and the acuity to solve, assuming a solution exists. Have fun, Bob. Don't drop the milk.
So the structure of Chatterhat is that most of it is first-person narration from this person named Bob. But every few chapters, someone else takes off on an unlikely monologue, telling a long story that provides some sense of mystery or a backdrop or context that the reader needs. So I'm going to read from chapter 10. This is called The Story of the Goat Monster. The only thing you need to know is that a war cam is a doorbell camera. It stands for We Are Recording Cameras. So when someone refers to war, that's what they're talking about. Can I tell you a secret, Bob? The most powerful words in the English language are, can I tell you a secret? No one ever says no. That's one secret. Here's another one. I hate my war cam. I hated it before we bought it. I resisted getting it forever. Josh would say, don't you want to know who's at the front door before you get up from the couch? No. Don't we want to have a recording if porch pirates take off with their deliveries? No. What about if the doorbell rings when I'm away on business? Wouldn't you like to be able to see who it is before you open the door? They're called windows, Josh, and there's literally a window in our door. And even if we had no windows, even if windows had never been invented, I still didn't want a war cam. But soon, it was like we were being left out at the cool kids table. We'd go to parties and war was all people would talk about. Oh, did you see the teenage drivers speed over the speed bump? Oh, did you see the adorable missionaries selling Bibles? Oh, did you see the couple kissing in the car? No, go watch it. Go watch it all. It's waiting on your war cam. It was like society had given up on me. Like everyone else was addicted to a new show on TV and I didn't subscribe to the right channel. So eventually I gave up. I told Josh we could get one and I sat there on my couch, arms crossed and legs crossed, pouting as two men in blue trousers installed it. And Josh signed something and away they went, leaving us this brochure about how to download the War app so we could stream through our phones. War flips on when your motion sensor is triggered. War comes with optional sync to your door chime. Rewind and watch War at your convenience. You want to know a secret, Bob? Once you start watching War, you can't stop. It is the greatest show on earth, and the best part is that it happens on my personal stage. Every day a line of character comes knocking at my door. Converts and salesmen and package delivery technicians, and they stand there so obediently, hands folded while they wait for me to answer the door, which I don't because I'm never home during the day anyway. I'm at work, and every time my phone vibrates, I take it out of my pocket and presto, my favorite show is on again. Starring some scrawny kid with a sack of cookie boxes, or a missionary in his black pants and white shirt, the delivery drivers dropping off their packages, kneeling to place them at my doormat. Every once in a while, one of them will sit down on our porch furniture, stare down at the concrete between their feet, and just rest there for a few minutes, not even knowing that I'm watching. Pretty soon, I stopped putting my phone away at all. All I did was sit there in my office with my phone out, holding it in both hands, holding that War Live Now button down with my thumb so I could see whatever my house saw. And then one night, the goat monster came. I was asleep, but I must have been sleeping so lightly, just drifting on sleep's edges, because I heard my phone rattle on the nightstand. My hand shot out and I picked it up and squeezed. I wasn't ashamed, I just didn't want it to wake up Josh, that was all. I lay there in the blackness just breathing, saying, "Don't look at it, Josie. It's probably just the milkman. It's probably just the milkman. Don't look, don't look." And I had almost beaten back the hunger to open up that war app when I realized it can't be the milkman because the milkman comes on Saturday. It is the middle of the night and there is a stranger on my porch. I wrap myself up in my robe and in bare feet. I get up and I sneak down the stairs, holding onto the banister with one hand, the other holding my phone up to my face, my eyes letting in less and less light as they adjust to the bright light of the screen, and I open the app and hold the War Live Now button, but there's nothing there. I'd never tried to stream my war cam at night before. Oh, Bob, it is a different world. The lens isn't so good without light. Everything is pixels, everything is gray, shades of gray on pink on black, and in the daylight, I can see all the way across the greenbelt onto the neighbor's porch, but at night, I can only see my own porch, just to the edge of the railing, that's all. I got to the bottom of the stairs and snapped on the light without thinking. My front door has a little glass square in it, a window just a foot or so wide, right at eye height, and all I could see in it was my own reflection, but just like that I realized I knew that anything on the other side of my door had a perfect view of me. And the darker it was on the other side of that door, the more perfectly framed I became. It was silly, it was unlikely, it was paranoid, and I knew it. I had looked through my war. I knew that whatever had been on my porch was gone. And yet there I was. There was this panic attack, this pain. Like a python, every time I went to suck in a breath, it took its opportunity to squeeze me a little tighter. My ribs were being crushed because I knew that just a couple of minutes ago, something had been on the other side. I reached forward and touched the door. It was deadbolted, locked. There was nothing to be afraid of, yet I could feel something standing out there, out on the street maybe, out where I couldn't see, something looking back at my face, hovering in that glass square, seeing me the same way I had tried to see it. I was a character in someone else's show, and now they were watching me. I ran back to where I turned on the overhead light and I switched it back off, and then I stood in the safe dark and scrubbed back through my war recordings to find out what had made my phone rattle in the middle of the night. Bob, I saw this. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did and you want to check out Chatterhat, it's on Amazon. It's only in print. You can probably also order it to your local bookstore. Thanks for watching.